I came up in music at a time when Triple J, the only pathway to being a successful musician apparent to a young person like me. I mean, I was also quite a bit older. I was 19, 20, 21 when I really decided to make a go of music. And at the time, the only pathway was Triple J Unearthed. Look, Mom, I'm living in LA. You know, Triple J was like cool indie bands, white people largely. And so I found that the only way I was able to do things was to do it myself, play shows in venues that didn't typically have music places. I remember doing gigs in places that people would be like, why are you playing there? And I was like, because no other venue would let me play. Like, this is the only venue I could get. And I built it like that. And because I built it like that, I would get big audiences, but nobody in the Australian music industry kind of cared about what I was doing because I didn't check off any of the kind of boxes that you're supposed to check off to say, oh, now he's had a song on like Triple J Unearthed and now we can invite him to this festival. And so it wasn't until my music got sent to some managers in America and they heard what I was doing and they were like, this is great. What are you doing? Come over here. And so I went over there and that's when I signed to Secretly Canadian, which was, you know, the cool indie. I was cool for a minute.
It's such a cool name for a label as well. I love it so much.
It is.
You were Secretly Australian.
I was on Secretly Canadian and I had started writing songs for other people and they were looking for songs for Kelly Clarkson, and the president of Atlantic Records, who was A&Ring Kelly's record, heard 2 of my demos and then asked for a meeting with me. And I remember sitting in his office and he was like, why are you on this like cool little indie label? You should be on like a major record label. And, you know, I grew up in the 90s, so you hear the president of a major label tell you that, you're like, give me all the money, let's go.
And despite that collaboration, your relationship with Atlantic ended. What happened there?
Look, it's hard to say when you're on the inside of this. Obviously, I want to blame everyone but myself. I both believe that like good music finds its own way, and I think I was the casualty of the pandemic. My album was scheduled to come out in May 2020. It was just, you know, it was the kind of the dream story. And then, of course, the pandemic happened and the album didn't come out for 2 years.
You are a performer yourself and you're also a songwriter with immense success, like songs that are absolutely huge. Have you found more satisfaction in one of those than the other, or do you like doing both of them sort of side by side?
For years, I would have said, I don't want to be a songwriter. I want to perform and write my own songs. Now, if anything, I'm just trying to find the joy of making music. And if I can get paid for it, then great. I just want to make good music with people that I really like.
Well, what does it feel like to look at a song that you've written or co-written, like Praying with Kesha, and see it having tens and tens of millions of downloads just on YouTube alone? Or that's the only interaction millions of people have ever had with your work or will ever have with your work. And you know, it may not be emblematic of everything that you've done. What's that feeling like?
Well, it's 2 things. One, you're very proud of the fact that you helped somebody. You know, I helped Kesha get quite a big hit at a pretty important moment of her life. And then as the artist, there's the other side of it, which I'm baffled. I do sometimes get baffled by like, how have I been able to give other artists these huge hits? What's happened? What's happened with my stuff? Like, why did I give Ben Platt a song that has, 130 million streams, and why can't I get 20 million on any of mine? It's baffling, and it's a source of pride. It's, it's complicated. I was the page turner for John Foreman at the Melbourne Carols I did it for 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you
must
look,
have been good at that.
I've actually been on TV more than any of those performers. You just have to know where to look for me.
You're like the ball boy of Christmas carols.
Exactly. What I find fascinating about that program and that event is that you literally sing the same songs every year. You just kind of rotate who sings what. But what ultimately it becomes about is just the community and the kind of everybody loves to like watch it either to celebrate it or kind of hate watch it, or however it is that they engage with it. Like, it just becomes this kind of cultural centerpiece. It's about more than just the music. What I love about it is that it is actually about the joy, and I've really felt this acutely this year. I quite love to curate a room where it's just for a minute. No one's trying to be cool. No one's trying to impress you. We're going to play some Christmas music. I'm going to have special guests come and sing songs with me or sing songs by themselves. And everyone in the room is just going to have a great time.
You had a childhood in the church and in, obviously a relationship with songs of faith. And Christmas has this double meaning, doesn't it? It's the great Christian festival, and yet it's also a secular celebration of love and family and commerce and togetherness, and in Australia, summer and the holidays. Where do you, how do you perceive Christmas in amongst all of those things? Does it have a religious meaning for you?
I really have come to just associate it with the communal feeling of like getting together to celebrate the year. Which is not to say that I don't still have religious kind of importance on it. For me as a person of faith, the story of Christmas is kind of relevant all year. So then this particular focus at this time of year is about the community, the music, the kind of season changing. I mean, I just played in New York. Like, there's a lot of Jewish people in the room, like, and they come and they celebrate. I'm pretty sure they're not singing the Christmas carols the same way that we are, but it's not about that. It's just about the kind of, the joy and the season, I suppose.
Do you ever do Baby It's Cold Outside? It's got a kind of creepy overtones, that one.
Years ago when I was an idiot and a lot younger, I added a verse which was basically just explicitly calling out the kind of undertones of the lyrics and the girl basically being like, okay, no.
There we go. This is date rape.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's Bing Crosby, so it was charming, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's funny, isn't it? It's also, I just sang Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas in the New York show. And I didn't realize this, but there's apparently a big controversy around the original lyric is someday soon we'll have to muddle through somehow. And then it got changed because they felt that was too negative and too dark as a lyric. So they changed it to hang a shining star upon the highest bough, which is the way that I had always heard it.
Oh.
And so Christmas controversies all around us.
Yeah, I'll say. The one I've always heard is muddle through somehow, which is so, I love that. It feels
it's a superior lyric. To be honest, I didn't realize. And so I've just always sung Star on the Highest Bough. So now I'm going to sing that with guilt for the rest of my career. But I have to do it because I have a single out with Missy Higgins singing the same lyrics. So
something that I think people who perhaps grow up in a religious household or go to a church school, they grow up and they don't necessarily have any faith themselves, but they still love Christmas and they still love Easter. And I think sometimes they can feel a bit weird about, say, going to a church or singing the songs or even feeling anything about those kinds of festivals if they don't believe in, the Holy Spirit and, the resurrection. Yeah. What's your perspective on that? Do you have to believe in any of that for it to be relevant?
I'm sure that most of my audience don't necessarily believe anything, but I'm also not shy about allowing them a window into what I believe. And so I do sing some of the religious carols, or I sing, the album that I put out, Friendly Fire, deals with a lot of religious themes, and I sing a couple of those songs at my Christmas shows. And I'm not shy about telling them, look, you're stepping into my space. This is something that's very important to me. And I'm not shy about letting them see me sing a song like O Come Emmanuel. And there is, I think for me, there is a spiritual engagement with that song, and I'm quite happy for people to see that, but I'm certainly not expecting them to participate in it the same way that I'm doing it. But I think it's nice for people to see people of faith engage with their faith in an authentic, honest way.
One of the things about your Christmas shows that they're live concerts that you have to go to enjoy, really. And as you say, you keep it a secret who's going to be the special guest until they actually show up. One of the challenges for the music industry at the moment is that people are very comfortable in their homes. We can all have a great listening and watching experience at home without having to do anything or really spend much money. And that's created such a difficult environment for artists. What do you see as the future of live performance? Do you have hope that you're going to still be able to do this in 10 or 20 or 50 years?
That question and the anxiety around it is part of what really drove me to want to do the Christmas shows this year. When I look at what's happening with AI, obviously I live in America, and some of the political tensions and the kind of divide and the country's climate, post Charlie Kirk and some of the things that have been happening, I just look at how scary and detached from each other the world is becoming. And I, for myself, feel like actually live music has maybe never been more important. I don't know what the future of that is, but I know that certainly if you come to my Christmas shows, which are about community, are about kind of sing-alongs and joining with other people and like making friends with people in the room and stuff, I think that stuff is going to become more and more important. You can't experience it. You can look, whether you like my music or not, you can listen to it, at home if you want in your headphones. But coming to a Christmas show or coming to a live show is different. And I think artists, as we go forward into the kind of new age of whatever artificial intelligence is going to be, need to realize that we are holding space for a room full of people, and that kind of can't be replaced by computers. So yeah, I'm hopeful. I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of years. I think we're about to see some huge changes, but I'm pretty confident to say that I'm going to keep being here, playing live in a room, inviting anyone to come and join me if they want.
Oh, I'm into that.